What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We are still reacting to Reddit, but it is a different side of Reddit. I just did the creepy PMs and I go on vacation, so I can't do it again because it's all the same posts. So for this week and next week, we're going to be doing two different Reddit threads. This one's going to be Am I Overreacting? And next week is going to be something different. You just have to wait and see what it is. But once you watch these videos, if you watch this one and you like this more than the creepy PMs, let me know. And next week, if you like that one more than this and the creepy PMs, let me know. And just, we'll keep evolving together. Okay, so let's get right into the Am I Overreacting? First one we got is, am I overreacting for thinking what I said was perfect and he's being dramatic for blocking me? This short conversation seems so unhinged, but I'm looking for opinions. So I, female 19, was in a talking stage with this guy, male 20, for 2 months, and a few hours ago he asked me this question, and after I responded he ended up blocking me a few minutes after. I might be crazy, but I feel like he was either testing me or I actually offended him from how I answered. So am I overreacting for this, or is he? All right, so it's just a text conversation here. He says, I have a question. Go on. What hurts more, that period ass pain females get or receiving anal? Are we in creepy PMs right now? What the frick? How about I buy you that period simulator thingy, you can try it out, and then I'll peg you. So you get the answer and the experience. That's actually really freaking funny to me. And then he says, yeah, nah, I'm out. You took that way too far. I asked a question. I wasn't signing up for an offer to get pegged and hooked up to a torture machine. And then apparently he blocked her after this. I think this message is funny as hell. Because he wants to go into this, right? And she gives him a chance. Because most girls that I know would block after this. If you're just in a talking stage and you're like, what hurts more, that period ass pain females get or receiving anal? Because you know damn well he's gonna be like, well, let's try anal. Let me put it in your butt. But she says, what the fuck? And she's like, you know, she's entertaining the conversation. How about I buy you that period simulator thing, you can try it out, and then I'll peg you. Like, that's funny. If you get a girl like that, don't lose them. Don't ask these questions, but humor is an important part of a relationship, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what everybody else has to say about it. Taking blocking you as a favor. You don't want to be with a guy who can't take a joke. That's my point. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was funny. This was the poster. Honestly, when he blocked me, I couldn't help but laugh. Then I stopped and just stood there questioning what the frick just happened. Got mad and sad, then realized that this talking stage was over. I think I went through the 5 stages of grief. Yeah, but be glad that he's gone, because why are we getting so offended? Probably been talking for at least 2 weeks, even maybe a month. And then you're going to block him because I said a joke? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. He's overreacting. From how I'm reading it, you matched his energy. Did he really want a serious answer? Yeah, I mean, you ask that question, she's not gonna be like, yeah, well, my butt hurts way worse than the period. Like, that would make me uncomfortable. That's not really something you ask someone during a talking stage. You took that way too far. Buddy, you brought it up in the first place, honestly. And that's what they said too. I honestly thought he was joking, and I still think he was. Maybe I took it too far. You did not take it too far. You are not overreacting. The people have spoken. The next one is, am I overreacting, or is the message my boyfriend sent me a bit over the top? I was thinking about getting my tongue re-pierced, as I had it done when I was a 14, 16-year-old, and now I'm 18 and I want it done again. I was on the phone call with my boyfriend, 21, and at the end of the call I told him I was going into the piercing place just to make sure I still had the right anatomy. I didn't know that was a thing for tongue piercings. This isn't the first time I told him I wanted it done again, and then once I hung up, he sent me this paragraph about 20 minutes later. I find it a bit insane and over the top, and that he is overreacting, but maybe I am, and he's right in a sense. I honestly don't know. Just want opinions on this. Okay. I can't believe you're even considering this beastly idea. What's next? You're going to pierce your whole face? You want to completely change who you are and look like some rebellious teenager? I'm seriously losing it over this. I don't care what everyone else says. This is just ridiculous, and I won't let it happen. I won't just sit here and watch you do something so stupid to yourself for no reason other than a dumb idea. Every time you come up with one of these things, I feel like I don't even know you anymore. Why can't you just leave things alone? Do not go through with this. If you really want to do it, then watch. And this is freaking hell. That was a bit deranged. It's only a piercing. That's what I'm thinking. Why are we freaking out so much? We have some other deep-rooted issues in this. This man has some other problems It has nothing to do with a piercing. I don't think you're overreacting. I think he overreacted. It's just a tongue piercing. Relax. It's 2025. I'm a man that paints my fingernails and sometimes paints my fingernails and has a nose piercing and ear piercings, and women have tattoos and they have piercings, and I don't know what the problem is here. This is ridiculous. He sent you a paragraph that sounds like 1950s mother scowling at her rebellious teenage daughter. He's overreacting. This is the most wildest response to the smallest thing. It really does. It doesn't sound like a boyfriend. It sounds like a mom talking to their daughter. Well, she gave him the room asking for his opinion, and he went haywire. Looks like a control freak to me. What did he mean by just watch? I'm sure he meant like he's gonna leave her or do some stupid or cheat on her or tell her parents something. I don't know. People are crazy, dude. I don't think you're overreacting. It doesn't look like any of the comments think you're overreacting, so you're not. And he is a crazy dude. Okay, this one looks like an interesting one. Am I overreacting for threatening to take my sister to court after her toddler destroyed my $2,000 gaming setup because she said I should have baby-proofed my apartment? This could go multiple different ways, to be honest with you. Like, you should have closed the door and the toddler destroyed the apartment, or you already had this conversation. I don't know. We'll find out. Because this one, taking to court, it sounds like a lot, but we'll see why. Hi Reddit, I'm female 25, and I'm honestly at my breaking point with this one. I need outside perspective because my entire family is acting like I'm a dictator for standing my ground. So I, 25 female, am a student software developer and a pretty serious PC gamer in my free time. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment that I've spent years making cozy and functional. I saved up for a long time to build my dream PC setup. Triple monitors, custom mechanical keyboard, ergonomic chair, the works. Altogether, my rig is worth a bit over $2,000 and I take care of it like it's a damn child. Last weekend, my older sister, 30 female, asked if she could crash at my place for one night because her apartment was being fumigated and her husband was out of town. She has a 3-year-old son, Max, who's, let's say, spirited. I love him, but he's a little chaos goblin. I hesitated, but she swore she'd keep an eye on him and that it'd just be for one night. They show up Saturday afternoon, and immediately it's clear she wasn't kidding about Max being a handful. Within 10 minutes of arriving, he'd pulled 4 books off my shelf, thrown my houseplants on the floor, and spilled juice on my area rug. I tried to stay chill, he's 3, I get it, but I asked my sister politely to keep him out of my office where my PC setup is. She rolls her eyes and goes, he's just exploring, he's curious, it's normal. But she closes the office door anyways. Cut to Sunday morning, I wake up screaming. Max had apparently woken up before his mom, managed to open the office door, and decided my setup was his new jungle gym. He pulled down one of my monitors, cracking the screen. He stuck crackers into the PC tower's ventilation slot. I'm not kidding. Yanked out my keyboard's keycaps and had colored on my chair with permanent marker. The cherry on top, he poured apple juice into the tower. Into the tower. That's crazy. When I tell you I went silent, I mean dead silent. My sister comes in, seeing the damage, and just says, "Oh no," in this incredibly flat tone, like someone knocked over a cup of coffee. I started freaking out, and she had the audacity to say, "You should have baby-proofed the room if it was that important to you." I have things to say, but I'm not going to say it yet. I lost it. I told her that one, she knew she wasn't supposed to be in there. She knew baby Max, child, boy. 2, this is my space, not a damn daycare. And 3, baby-proofing a $2,000 gaming setup is not a standard requirement for adults living alone. She told me to calm down and said that he's just a kid and stuff is replaceable. I told her she could replace it then. She said she didn't have the money right now, but maybe in a few months she could give me a few hundred. I told her that wasn't acceptable and that she needed to take full responsibility. There's more, but I'm gonna stop it here and agree with everything. This is ridiculous because you're doing them a favor by letting them live in your house or your apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. You're doing them a favor. It's just one day. I'm not gonna go out and baby-proof all this shit. You need to be responsible for your kid. However, I do think that since you knew the baby was a little crazy, that we could have done some things to prevent a situation like this. But it's also not completely your responsibility, but it also a little bit is because you allowed them to be there. So sometimes we have to take some precautions depending on who's in the house, you know? She left in a huff and now my whole family is blowing up my phone. My mom's saying I'm being materialistic and should understand that my nephew didn't mean it. My dad said I should have locked the door if it was that important. My brother actually said, why do you even need 3 monitors anyway? That's kind of overkill. The brother was a little bit much, but I think, and the mom was too materialistic. Like, you work hard for that stuff. It's not necessarily like all the stuff in front of you, the materials that are important. It's like you put time and effort into working and saving up money to get something that you enjoy. It's not really the material part. It's the work that you put into being able to afford something like this, and then it just leaving, you know? You should have locked the door though. I filed a claim with my insurance, but there's no guarantee it'll be covered since it was technically guest damage. I also told her if she does not pay up, I'll take her to court for what happened. I don't actually know with the situation here that I don't know if you'd win in court, not gonna lie. Now I'm getting text from my sister demanding an apology for blaming your kid for being curious. Control your kid. I told her I'd drop it if she covered the cost of repairs and replacements, or at least met me halfway, and she blocked me. So am I overreacting if I take my sister to court over this? And then there is an update. There's 2 updates actually. So first update. Wow, just wow. 4 hours later, I wake up from my nap to this. Thank you guys. It'll take a bit for me to read all of this. My sister still has not unblocked me, but her husband reached out to find out what happened. I'm sorry I don't have more to tell yet, but I'll update again when I do. Seriously, thanks for the insight, everyone. My head is a lot clearer now. Update 2. Hey y'all, my sister's husband reached out as mentioned earlier, and we're working on a solution if possible. He's been really understanding, as have all of you. Also, to clarify the office situation, my 1-bedroom apartment is on the smaller side. You can see that I'm not reading all that. So the landlord covered an old ex-clothes cabinet into a makeshift office. So it used to be like a closet. It's weird, but the building is from the 40s, and I guess they have to get creative with the space with an old tenant or something. So it's living room, sister and her kids slept there, plus kitchen, I slept there, and the office. You slept in the kitchen? What the hell? Okay. Thanks for all the support and the award. I really don't have the words for how nice people have been in both DMs and comments. Let's see what the comments have to say. Okay, so this is a mom. Okay, they have a child, and I think they're putting their 2 cents into what they would feel if their kid destroyed something like this. And they say they're not overreacting. As a mom of 2 myself, this is entirely unacceptable. You cannot expect other people to baby-proof for you. You cannot expect other people to watch your child for you. You cannot expect other people to just be fine with your child destroying their things. Which is true. I mean, the child destroyed it regardless of what the situation was. I think if we flip it around a little bit, since the mom of the kid came to the house, you should have brought baby-proofing stuff to baby-proof your kid if that's needed. A playpen, whatever. So they don't wake up and just go terrorize a house without you knowing and you're still sleeping. I think that should be the mom's job, actually. I don't think it should be the owner. They're doing you a favor by letting you stay with them. So you do them a favor by not letting the child destroy the house and getting baby-proof stuff. That's your kid. And then as parents, we're used to having most of our things ruined by toddlers. Thank goodness we are long out of that stage. But that doesn't mean the people around you should expect it as well. The fact that she literally doesn't even care what has happened is mind-blowing. Maybe she's just embarrassed and deflecting, which sounds like what it is, because this speaks absolute volumes about her parenting skills. As for the rest of your family, I'm sure she is spinning the story differently, but screw them. They are showing you their true colors if you haven't seen them before. Tell them they can all band together to get you $2,000 you are owed by your sister. If you sue her for the full $2,000 and whatever dollar amount you're going to lose out on from not having a working PC. If you estimate and can prove you missed out on making $500 because you didn't have working equipment, sue her ask for $2.5. If it's $1,500, sue her for $35, etc. People learn best through their pockets. It's true. Just make sure you can prove it was money you definitely would have made if you had your equipment. So this is why I like reading comments, because it kind of changes my perspective. Because if it was me, just because I like to prepare a little bit, I would have baby-proofed it or whatever. If I had a baby coming over, I would have done something to ensure the baby doesn't go there, but it's not my responsibility, but it is. It's so hard. So let me know what you think about this one, because this one's crazy. So if you think they're overreacting, I don't think they're overreacting, but I think the situation could have been handled differently for sure. Ooh, this one. Let's make this the last one of this video if you guys want to see more, because these ones take a lot longer to get through than the creepy DMs, because I have a lot to say about him, and I hope you guys have a lot to say and you have a lot of thoughts about him too, and I want you to drop them in the comments for sure. But this one is, am I overreacting? After threesome, I can't look at my boyfriend. That's crazy. So I, 21 female, and my 21 male boyfriend just recently had our first threesome after a year of dating. We were drunk and high at the time, and it was with one of his close female friends. Oh God. I couldn't really do much but suck it since I was on my period. When things got started, there's no punctuation in the story. When things got started, it was fine, kind of fun even. As things progressed, he started putting her in all the position we used together, then moving her into positions where I couldn't really be involved, like missionary, while covering her with his whole body and saying the exact same things he says to me to her, which at first I was just like, that's kind of weird. But then she had already busted and he just kept slamming her like it was the best thing in the world. Like, I mean, 4 times he was intimate with her. So you were just basically cucking, not by choice. We never go that many times. We usually do once, maybe twice, then he's asleep. Never cares if I finish or not, like I was on one side, they were on the other, and it was as I wasn't there at all. We all took a shower, then he cuddled only her the whole night when she wasn't even supposed to stay the night. Didn't even look in my direction. No punctuation. This is really hard. I'm sorry. Didn't even look in my direction. The bed was so cramped I had to leave and go onto the couch. I didn't sleep the whole night. Around 7 a.m. he came looking for me. He seemed kind of sad and hurt that I wasn't in the bed and said he was just in the moment. She isn't better. Why are we using these words? She isn't better. She squirted and was more vocal, which excited him since I never do. Loves me, then tried giving me affection, then which it was kind of too late for it to feel authentic. Then when she left, he wanted to be intimate, but I couldn't. It just felt like sympathy for him seeing me cry. Then he tried cuddling with me, but I couldn't even stand his touch. What to do? I cry every time he touches me. We haven't been intimate since. Things are just not the same. Even if he tries reassurance, it doesn't work. He's been trying to show he cares, but I can't even look him in the eyes anymore. And it's nothing towards the girl. She was nice. We get along. He recently told me the girl said she wants another threesome. I replied, I never want to do that again. He just said he told her to ask me, but why not? And how there was no need for me to take it to heart. He has no feelings for the girl. It was crazy. How things happened like that was an act of God and so scary it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't here. Okay, that was a really hard read, and I don't know if that was just me being stupid or if it was the punctuation, but she said that they were friends. The boyfriend and the girl were friends. I think he was just waiting. I know it sounds terrible, but I think he was just waiting and you gave him an opportunity and he took it, and he's a disgusting person. And he just didn't care, which is nuts. Like, there's cheating, right? And that's bad in itself, like unexcusable and going behind people's back, but doing it in front of their faces is crazy. And I don't agree with threesomes at all. I think that it just ruins the whole like love and lust and having it with your partner. Like, it shouldn't, I don't know. That's just my opinion though. I can't really include that in this thought process, but it sounds like she has the same mindset. And I mean, substances, man, they make you do stupid things and you wake up and you regret it, especially with alcohol. I mean, alcohol is a downer. You drink it, you feel good, you wake up the next morning and you're depressed, and they can really f with people. That's how people become alcoholics. So I don't think you're overreacting. And I think that you guys need to go to severe therapy or just end it and just move on. Learn from your mistakes, realize that you don't want to do stuff like that, and then have that standard for yourself. Okay, this is the top comment, and we're going to just read this whole thing because it's another paragraph. I mean, I think it covers pretty much everything that we need to do. Buckle up. This is a long response. Poor communication. Yeah, they didn't talk about it. Just happened. And he didn't say anything. You didn't say anything. Lack of consideration for the fact you couldn't be an equal participant. Like, that's your girl. You should be wanting that more. I don't know. I don't agree with threesome, so I don't know. Unable to wait for a time where you weren't on your period. That too. I think that has more to do with the substances. These are all the bare minimum of things that need to be addressed. He did this because the other girl must have brought it up to him and he was excited to bang with her regardless of what your body and mind were on the idea fully. Yeah, he did not have any consideration for you at all. Unfortunately, people aren't educated enough about an experience of ethical non-monogamy. I mean, some people don't care to have that experience or that education though either. If that's not for you, then don't do it. There's still plenty of taboo about the topic, and as a result, people are walking into threesomes without being properly prepared for how that should play out. Communication is key, but knowing some of the practices that keep a threesome healthy, fun, and non-damaging as an experience is important. I've put some below as a guide reference point. I guess if you want to have a threesome, you can do this, but I'm curious I didn't know there were rules to this. You never have a threesome with someone you know and is interlinked with different parts of your life. I mean, I'm not even going to give my we could talk about this all day, but I'm not going to. You guys can talk about it in the comments, so give your opinions, because I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. You never go inside your friendship circles. You don't engage in a threesome and only focus on one partner for the entirety of the experience. OP, you were essentially made to be a cuckold without your fully informed consent. True. Regardless, yeah, I mean, that brings up a whole nother topic. You were on substance. I mean, that could be illegal. I'm not going to say the word, but it could be illegal. Regardless of it, that was an oversight from your partner due to lack of experience or lack of understanding about how a threesome works. This is a big sign that neither of you are ready within your own relationship with each other to introduce a third. You also don't go into an experience like a threesome when you haven't talked at length as a couple and then with your the third person outside of your own relationship dynamic about the boundaries of the experiences. Includes awkward conversations such as checking in on health checks, STIs, flus, colds, vomiting, bugs, thrush, whatever you want to put in this category in terms of where every participant well-being is at. Be prepared. No lady should be without a good water. Okay, we're going a little too far, but I don't think you're overreacting. I think we made some bad decisions and we can learn from them. And I think that's about all these am I overreacting things. Whether you are or aren't reacting, you can always learn from your mistakes or other people's mistakes and grow as a person. I think that's important. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, that was Am I Overreacting? We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.